is two-pronged. Own centers across the country at strategic locations, and franchising is the main scaling up strategy. Now you will see on the left hand side graph the blue line that represents the own centers. So we plan to have 5 own centers, and at a conservative estimate we should have about 175 franchise centers across the country. The right hand side graph shows you what we expect in terms of revenue. So 2017-18 conservative estimates, we should be at 22.5 crores in revenues and about 7 crores EBITDA. That's about 29%. Alright, now there are a couple of cornerstones to this strategy. One is an engagement with Franchise India. We've already started dialogues. That's the premier company all over Asia from a franchising perspective, from strategy and database. So we've already started some discussions with Franchise India. That should be one big one. Forging ties with multi-school brands. What happens is a franchisee of a multi-school brand would usually run his school till about 2:30. This is a very good option for him to turn over his resources twice over. Okay. Also, he's in the same space but niche and specific. The Learning RX Master Developer Training is touted as being amongst the best in the education system. So that's one big thing for us. Why do we think we can do this? Is we have the experience in sales management, sales training, center management, training audit, managing large teams, creating and setting up distributor network, and child education. I'm talking about between me and my wife, okay, who are the current promoters. Strong franchise economics, that's primarily coming from a franchisee who's related to a multi-school system. Okay. The market need is huge, and we have a strong track record, though limited, for the last 22 months. In terms of what is required, the funding is the required funding is about 2.5 crores. That's immediate for all these things. Okay, essentially to start new centers, own centers, as well as working capital. Okay, I couldn't leave this place without giving you a taste of what a cognitive skill training program would look like. So I'm going to, Mr. Gandhi, can I request you to? Okay, what you see is rather simple. What you see over here is rather simple. A few words in some different colors. Okay, so all I want you to do, sir, is call out the color of the first word, then read the word, the second word, then a color, then a word, then a color, then a word.
You can speak somebody younger, right?
Doesn't matter. Just attempt it. So that's a color and a word. So that will go something like this: red, etc.
Okay, first is red, then say the word.
Yes.
Red.
Blue, then a color.
Blue, yellow.
Then a word. Yeah.
Blue, yellow. Green, blue. Yellow. Green, red.
Sorry, that's a blank. That's a word.
Okay. Green, black. Red, black. Grey.
Oh, that's a black, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that a brown?
Okay.
Brown, red. It's a brown, yellow. Blue, black, and a black.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, the point here is, from a knowledge perspective, this is so basic that it should not take us more than half a second to process each bit, which means to say that this should be done less than 10 seconds. Whatever you do, try this at home. It isn't as simple as it looks. It stretches something inside. Okay, what we do is 24 different training procedures. This was one procedure, and this has 17 levels. I showed you one level. 24 different procedures up to 41 levels. So that's what we actually do. Alright, thank you very much.
Among all the examples that you gave, cave,
Yes.
smelling Mahabaleshwar in the reverse, or
Yes.
doing this quick workout.
Yes.
I think what we'd like to know is, how does this really help? What happens to a student when they're able to read it properly?
Okay.
When you talk about cognitive skills being developed,
Yes.
what really happens? So you have the experience of 170 students
Yes.
who've gone through your program. Is there something that you tested in them at the time when they started the program and at the time when they exited the program? And so what is it that they got from it?
Wonderful. Thanks for asking this question. Okay, there are two parts to the program itself. One is the testing mechanism. It's an internationally standardized test battery which tests, regardless of age, your current levels of all the cognitive skills. Okay, then you go through the program and 72 hours of program. So after 3 months, the same skills are tested once again. On an average, that leads to about 24 percentile growth. And IQ increase in terms of points is about 15 points. Okay, so that's the average over 33 odd thousand students that we've done worldwide.
Does this do anything to the creativity?
Sorry, creative.
This is
Wonderful.
what
Thank
you are
you.
saying is that it is memorizing and repeating.
Thank you.
Creativity.
Yes. Creativity is nothing but, if you look at a couple of the skills that we talked about, one was what is known as visual processing. Okay, visual processing, if you look at sub skills, there are 7 sub skills of visual processing. A creative person who has a basic creative talent, the higher his visualization strength, okay, he would perform better. I have examples like this that we've worked with. Children or young adults, 17, 18-year-olds. So, yes, it does.
Do you have,
One last question.
do you have an exclusive license to this in India?
Yes, in fact, part of the funding that I was showing you about is for the license.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
What's the average time a student spends with you?
We work with the student for a year totally, of which the first about 3.5 months, that's 72 hours, is 6 hours per week kind of a training program, an hour a day, 6 days a week into 12 weeks. Currently it's 57,000 rupees in India. It costs $5,000 in the US.
Does the percentile gain remain constant or does it deteriorate over a period of time?
Wonderful, I love these questions. Sorry. Okay, one last. We're talking about skills here. A skill, once gained, is virtually permanent. We don't teach any knowledge. Knowledge is transient or temporary unless you keep revisiting it. Okay, just like swimming or cycling. So we're working on the core skills.
Let us give a big hand of applause to these 7 companies. They have worked very, very hard over the last 4-5 months along with the mentors to reach where they are today. That brings us to the end of this session. Welcome back, everyone. I'm sure many of you are aware about what's been happening in TiE over the last 1 year. But for our guests who have come here today, I'm very, very happy and proud to announce that TiE Pune was selected as a finalist in the top turnaround category worldwide. Building on the foundation laid by the past presidents of TiE Pune, our current president has led TiE Pune from the front and transformed the organization in a very short span of time. He has also been the inspiration behind this First Nurture program and really has been the driving force behind TiE Pune being nominated for this wonderful award from TiE. So I would like to propose a big round of applause for our current president. Vishwas, I'd like to invite you onto the stage. At this point in time, we'd like to kick things off by welcoming some very distinguished guests, and we will be presenting them with some mementos for them to take back with them, which are typically Puneri in nature. Firstly, I'd like to invite Mr. Ashok Rao. global chairman of